In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. The Hobbit, or There and Back Again, is a children's fantasy novel by JRR Tolkien. It was published on the 21st of September, 1937, to wide critical acclaim. The book remains popular and is recognized by many as a classic, and it sets the stage for the epic Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit is set within Tolkien's Middle-earth and follows the quest of home-loving Bilbo Baggins to win a share of the treasure guarded by a dragon named Smaug. Bilbo's journey takes him from his light-hearted, rural surroundings into a much more sinister territory. The story is told in the form of an episodic quest, and most chapters introduce a specific creature or type of creature of Tolkien's geography. Bilbo gains a new level of maturity, competence, and wisdom by accepting the disreputable, romantic, and adventurous sides of his nature, and applying his wits and common sense. Once convinced to take the adventure as the dwarves' burglar, Gandalf, the dwarves, and Bilbo make their way towards the Misty Mountains. Gandalf, the wizard, one of the Istari Order. He is called away from the company. Tolkien took the name Gandalf from the Old Norse catalogue of dwarves, Dvergatau, in the Völuspá. While he is away, the company comes to the foot of the mountains and camp for the night. Here, the dwarves are captured by cave trolls. And as Gandalf returns with the first light of day, and the light turns the trolls to stone. They then find the cave the trolls used, and found many elven weapons, and even Bilbo finds a sword his very own size, the first of many such encounters they endure. They then make their way to Rivendell and meet with Elrond the half-elven, half-elf, half-man. He tells them the swords they had found are blades forged in the ancient city of Gondolin, that they carry much power. More importantly, he tells them there are moon ruins on the map they carry, and that there is a secret entrance to the Lonely Mountain that can only be opened by the last light of Durin's day shining on the keyhole. Leaving the elves of Rivendell, their journey takes them through the caves of the Misty Mountains, fighting orcs and goblins. Along the way, Bilbo gets separated from the company and finds himself alone in the dark, and feeling his way along the floor of the cave, he stumbles upon a ring. The ring. Though he has no idea, this is the one ring that rules them all. Soon after, he meets Gollum, and a game of riddles ensues, to which Bilbo wins, sort of. Gollum unintentionally shows Bilbo the way out, and he finds the rest of the company not far outside the eastern side of the mountains. It is here that they are all chased down by wargs and orcs, and the company tries to hide in the trees. Yet they are found, and just when it appears all is lost, the great eagles rescue them from their demise. From here they go to stay with Beorn, a skin changer who is sometimes a big burly man, and at other times a bigger, burlier bear. After staying at Beorn's to rest, they then journey on through Mirkwood Forest, where Beorn warns them to never leave the path and to not drink the water. Gandalf. He is called away from the company to the White Council to persuade them to expel Sauron from his fortress in Dol Guldur. The dwarves find themselves captives in the Wood Elves' prison. After an encounter with giant spiders and much elven trickery, fortunately, Bilbo, using the ring to disappear, is able to set them free. And it's on to Lake Town, where they are encouraged to go on with their journey to the Lonely Mountain to reclaim the dwarf's treasure and home from the dragon Smaug the Magnificent. Bilbo is then tasked going down into the treasure chamber and facing the great and terrible Smaug. During this exchange, Bilbo sees a bare patch on the dragon's chest, a weak spot that an arrow could pierce, and this would end up being Smaug's demise. And with the dragon gone, there was much arguing over the treasure. The story reaches its climax in the Battle of Five Armies, where many of the characters and creatures from earlier chapters re-emerge to engage in an epic conflict. The men of Lake Town, the Wood Elves, the dwarves, and the orcs and goblins of the Misty Mountains all joined in a great battle. Even Beorn was seen raging on the orc armies. But when all looked to be lost, the great eagles come in and save the day once again. In the end, Bilbo returns with Gandalf to the Shire to find he is thought to have died, and all of his belongings being auctioned off to the likes of Lobelia Took of the Sackville Baggins.
Lobelia's envy of Bag End was well known. When Bilbo left for his legendary journey, she coveted Bag End and found an opportunity to steal some of Bilbo's spoons, as Bilbo suspected after his return, and Lobelia knew well his suspicions. Then one day, years later, Bilbo took to writing his memoirs when Gandalf and Balin came to visit him. From them, he learned that Dale had been rebuilt by Bard, Slayer of Smaug, and Lake Town was prospering. Bilbo was happy, and Gandalf said to him, "You are a very fine person, Mr. Baggins, and I am very fond of you, but you are only quite a little fellow in a wide world after all." The end. Note: some key elements of the backstory were intentionally left out for the reader to discover for themselves. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and God bless.